All right, so let's come to a comfortable seat for just a moment. We're gonna actually start standing in a minute, but first, let's take a moment to center in our seat. So find whatever you need to make it a comfortable seat and move your sitting bones and rest your hands on your legs, or you can always press your fingertips down into the ground to help you feel that action of grounding, of rooting. And then think of that first concept, the first principle in yoga of rooting down to rise up. So as you push down with your legs or push down with your fingertips, lengthen up higher, lengthen through the crown of your head, and let your eyes close. And take a couple big breaths here, tuning into your breath and how it's moving right now. Not necessarily trying to do anything different to it. Just notice and have awareness of how it's moving. And even notice the general feeling inside. And then begin to add some detail to the breath. You can allow your breath to grow a little longer on the exhale. And keep the inhale to a natural place. Not trying to make the inhale longer, but instead bring that emphasis to the exhale. Pressing the breath out just a little bit more. Inhaling naturally. A couple more breaths this way at your own pace. Then connect hands together at heart center. And bring your thumbs to connect at your third eye, your intuition center that we've been focusing on this month. And allowing ourselves to focus both on our intuition, tuning into what we already understand and know, and then bringing your hands back to your compassion center, connecting that intuition with your compassion. Bowing toward your heart, honoring yourself for taking this time this morning to be here. Then softly opening your eyes, release your hands down. And let's go ahead and come up to a standing position at the front of your mat. And as you come to that standing position at the front of your mat, look down at your feet and notice four corners of your feet. Think of big toe mound and pinky toe mound, both inside and outside of your heel. And then bend your knees and give a good push from your glutes up through your feet to stand taller. Turn your palms open. And as you let your eyes close now, take another full breath to feel the entire body from feet to crown. Half salutation. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. You're welcome to open your eyes if you want. Exhale, bend knees to fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way. Extend your heart. Exhale and fold. Hands to hips, press back on hips. Lift shoulders up first and then rise all the way up to stand. Again, turn your palms, expanding through the heart space. Feel free to close your eyes here. One full breath. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, bend knees and fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale, fold. Hands to hips, press back on hips. Shoulders lift, elbows lift. Inhale, rise. Turn palms, Take a moment here for some ear to shoulder, work through any of the neck stuff that might be present for you. And then one more half salutation. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bent knees, fold. Inhale, lengthen part way, long spine. Exhale and fold. Hands to hips, press back. Lift shoulders, lift elbows, inhale, rise. Turn palms, take a moment with eyes closed, feel your breath. Feel from crown to tail, tail to crown. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, bend knees and fold. And now plant fingertips on blocks or the floor, your choice, and step right foot back into your lunge. Center with your hips and grow longer through your spine. Start to notice an engagement here of your core, lifting through the low belly and the ribs. Big breath. And inhale, step forward. Exhale, step the left foot back into your lunge. Take a deep breath as you center with your hips. Grow longer from hip to armpit, and then engage the core. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, step the right foot back. Rise up to the highest point of your props, whatever you're using, and work your front leg towards straight for just a moment. Big toe mound is pushing down. Wrap the left hip back. Send both sitting bones up and extend your heart forward. Long spine, big breath. Inhale, bend into your front knee and step forward. Exhale, step back with your left foot. And then work your front leg towards straight, wrapping the right hip back and pushing the right big toe mound down. Send sitting bones up, extend your heart, long, full breath. Inhale, bend into your front knee and step forward. Coming into your forward fold, take a full breath in your fold. Letting your head hang, maybe letting arms hang, or hold on to opposite elbows, or hold on to the back of your neck. Take another full deep breath right here. Hands to hips, press back on hips, lift shoulders up and rise. As you come up to a standing position, pause and set your feet up to inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and then root them down. Palms turn open, expand through the chest. Take a big breath. And now we're hugging in with the muscles of our legs and inhale, rising up to tiptoes. And as you rise up to tiptoes, just notice for yourself what the balance is like for you today. Tone. Hug in with the legs, tone the low belly, the low ribs. And now if you'd like to, you can add a little challenge by lifting your arms up overhead. Full big breath. Now super controlled, tone your core as you slowly lower heels back toward the ground. And now settle hips into your chair pose. As you come into this chair pose, move inner thighs back, sitting bones back, lift your chest. Now tone the low belly and the ribs. Take a big breath. Exhale and fold over the legs. Inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Plant fingertips, right foot steps back into the lunge. Inhale, reach up and rise, centering with your hips. Take a big, deep breath. On your exhale, turn and plant your back heel. Open it up to warrior two and settle into your front knee for just a moment. Turn open with your knee, lift your ribs up high. Deep breath. And now work front leg towards straight, coming into that second hamstring stretch, hands to your hips. And then push the front hip back so you're creating a hip crease. Turn your knee toward the pinky toe edge. Extend your heart toward the front of your mat. And then bring left hand to a block, up above your knee, wherever it needs to be for you to be long through your spine. Turn your belly and your heart to the right. Maybe stretch top arm to the sky. Deep breath. And now top hand back to your hip. And we're gonna do a little movement forward into our chair pose. So bend into your front knee, tuck your back toes, and step forward into your chair. Take a big, deep breath. And exhale, fold over your legs. Full big breath. Hands to hips, press back on hips, lift shoulders up, and inhale, rise, coming all the way up to standing. And again, turn your palms, close your eyes, and take a moment to feel whatever sensations are there. Notice for you what's present. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, bent knees to fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Plant fingertips, left foot steps back into your lunge. Inhale, reach up and rise. Centering with your hips, take a full breath and start to find that core strength here. Turn and plant your back heel, open it up to your warrior two facing the left side. Deep breath. Open the right knee, lift your heart. And now work right leg towards straight, shifting hips back, creating the hip crease. Keep the turn of your knee open to the right, even as you extend your heart forward. And then take your hand to a block. The floor, maybe if your arms are nice and long, maybe up to your thigh. The only place you try to avoid is pressing onto the shin and pressing the knee back. Turn your belly, turn your heart, maybe stretch up. Take a big breath. Now top hand back to your hip. You now know where we're going with this. Bend into your front knee, tuck your back toes, and step forward into your chair. Take a big, deep breath, settling hips down. Tone your belly, tone your ribs, lift your heart. Push into the floor and inhale, rise all the way up, reaching your arms, and then rise all the way up onto your tiptoes. Take a big breath. Hug in with the muscles of your legs. Tone your core. Use that core strength to softly lower your heels down and then bring arms back by your sides. Turn your palms forward. Close your eyes and feel what's present for you. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. And now bring hands to whatever you're using for a prop. You can use 2 blocks, you can use 1 prop, whatever you need to lift up with your heart. And think of wrists stacked underneath your shoulders. And from there, we're going to pedal out slowly with our knees. And as you bend one knee at a time slowly, think of the leg that's becoming more straight. That sitting bone is lifting up. Both feet are evenly planted. One more pedal through your legs on each side. Then back into center, hands to hips, bend your knees, squeeze your glutes, inhale, rise. And now go ahead and find your blanket. And we're gonna roll our blanket up and bring it to the foot of your mat. And we're gonna step on our blanket with the front part of our foot. Heel on the ground, ball of your foot lifted. Feet are approximately hip distance, or inner hip, I should say. If hamstrings are super tight, then you might take them closer to outer hip distance, okay? That's okay too. So now, with your heels lifted, this automatically starts to lengthen the calves, lengthen the backs of the legs. So a little bend to your knees, which right here can sometimes be a little challenging. Push your hips back, your heart forward as you start to fold over your legs. And as you fold, you're welcome to take hands to blocks or to a prop, but let yourself fold completely over first to your degree. So that might be bringing elbows up to your thighs. If this is really intense, then that might be a good place to be. So take a couple big deep breaths and try to send your sitting bones further up with a bend to your knees. Just a little bend, doesn't have to be a big bend. Now inhale, rise up part way. So bring hands up again to the highest part of your props. And then we'll pedal out here, keeping heels on the ground, bending one knee at a time slowly. And as you do so, think of tilting sitting bones up, especially the leg that's becoming more straight. Take one more on each side. And then with even bend to both knees, hands to hips, press back on hips, lift shoulders up and open and rise. And then go ahead and step off onto the floor with both feet. And then take palms to face forward, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, bent knees to fold. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Take a moment in your fold to feel and notice what's present in your body now. And now plant hands and step all the way back to a downward facing dog pose and take a moment in down dog to again pedal out. And as you pedal out, same thing that we did in our forward fold, because down dog is technically a forward fold. Try to lift the sitting bone of the leg that's becoming more straight. And then lower knees down, hips come to heels. Your knees can be wide or narrow, your choice. But take a child's pose and for a moment, let your head rest. If hips being a little higher feels better, or if taking hands in together to touch, elbows wide feels better, then you can take whatever variation feels the best in your body right now. And then gently press yourself up to your seat and come down to sitting bones. And extend both legs out long. Move your sitting bones, move them back and broad. And then flex your feet. And from here, fingertips beside or behind your hips to help you sit taller. Now push down with your heels and allow your knees to lift a little bit. And now even more so, draw your heels back isometrically so they don't actually move, but it's an action. So as you pull back, see if you can allow your pelvis to tilt more towards your legs. And if it's really not tilting anywhere, then walk your feet in a little ways towards you. Then push down And draw back with your heels again and see if that helps your pelvis to tilt. Sometimes, not always. So press down with fingertips, lift your ribs, lift your chest. And from there, walk your hands forward, hinging at the hips, fold over your legs. Maybe reach out for your feet, maybe your shins, maybe the floor. All good options. But again, find that tilt to your pelvis, extend your heart forward. Take a full inhale. And as you exhale, either fold deeper or maybe back off a little bit, your choice. And do that pulsing a couple of times, allowing yourself to explore maybe a little bit deeper in the body, or maybe finding that you need to create more space by backing off. Then inhale, rise all the way back up. And for just a moment in time, the feet come together into butterfly, and you can hold on to peace fingers on big toes. You can hold on to shins or fingers behind you, your choice. Feet far enough away so that you can tilt your belly forward. So if you need to shift them a little forward, please do. Take an inhale and lengthen. Exhale, if it's in your practice, if it feels good, maybe a little fold. If that fold just means that your low back rounds back and stay upright, that's still a fold. Full breath. Inhale, rise back up, footprints to the floor, and then lay all the way down onto your back. And you're always welcome to get a blanket ready for your neck for Shavasana. But come down onto your back, footprints to the floor, and draw knees in together to touch, hands to your hips. And from this place, find that tilt of your pelvis. So you can tilt it forward and back, or side to side, or you can do little circles. Find that movement that feels the best in your body. And then come to a place of a little bit of a lumbar curve. So tilt your pelvis a little bit. So sitting bones are moving down. Walk your feet in, and then draw right knee into your chest. And then open the right knee up to the side. And then aim your foot toward the ceiling. Hold on where you need to for this half happy baby pose variation. And then the other foot, we're turning to the side, so your knee is opening up to the left. Flex your right foot and create a pull down with your hand and a push back into your hand with your leg. Tilt your pelvis and take another big breath. So you're finding that lumbar curve. And now if you'd like to, you can add the hamstring stretch here with the half happy baby pose. So extend your right leg out long and straight, flexing your foot, and then bend your knee again. And then leg out long and straight. One more this way. Bend your knee and leg out long. And then bend your knee and set your foot on the ground. Both feet back to center, knees back to center, and pause for a moment. Take hands to your upper thighs, and take a little push. Take a moment to breathe into your low back. And now lift your left knee up, open your knee up to the left, and then aim your foot up toward the ceiling, and then hold on where you need to for your half happy baby. Just remembering that the key here is being able to tilt your pelvis. So sitting bones are moving down. And then open the right knee up to the right, coming to the pinky toe edge. And then add that push into your hand with your foot, pull or leg rather, pull back with your hand on your leg. So a little resistance. And now if you'd like to, extend your leg out long for the hamstring stretch. So left leg to the left. And then bend your knee. Left leg long. And bend your knee. One more time, left leg long. And bend your knee. And then both feet on the ground, knees drop in together to touch. Feel free to reach your arms up overhead this time and add a little pivot with your pelvis. And now if you'd like to, you can add the blanket underneath your neck. You can add the bolster or pillow underneath your legs, especially if low back or hamstrings are tight. You can always come 2 legs up the wall or legs up, something lifted. Find your variation here of Shavasana and begin to find your rest. For just a few moments, giving yourself full permission to let go of the work you've been doing and rest. Begin to take a deeper breath. And add gentle movements into fingers and into toes. And then as you're ready to, bend your knees and roll over to the side. And slowly press yourself back up to your seat. Connect hands together at heart center. And with your eyes closed, take another moment to tune in and notice, being aware of what's there for you. Thumbs come to your third eye, your intuition center, and back to your heart, your compassion center, and bow towards your heart. Have a very peaceful and beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.